Yes, but I really don't want to do that. Sometimes you wish you could, but on second thought, it's not too good because you don't want to look back. I always look forward to the rest of today and tomorrow.
At first, the deadly intruder did not have a name.
The lifestyle of some male homosexuals has triggered an epidemic of a rare form of cancer.
But it quickly developed a reputation.
And the deaths kept coming and coming.
The fear was palpable.
I was terrified of passing on HIV to someone else.
But in the years that followed,
it was pretty miraculous for me.
So was the bravery.
Because of them, I can live a healthy and happy life.
Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, commonly known as AIDS, swept through the United States in the 1980s, rapidly becoming an epidemic that claimed countless lives across all walks of society. Initially misunderstood and stigmatized as a disease that only affected certain groups, HIV and AIDS quickly proved to be indiscriminate, affecting people regardless of their status, race, or sexuality. Today, we remember 27 prominent black celebrities and well-known figures who lost their lives to AIDS, honoring the legacy they left behind. Arthur Ashe, tennis legend. Arthur Robert. Ashe Jr. began his remarkable journey in tennis at the tender age of 7 in Richmond, Virginia. Ashe would go on to win 3 Grand Slam titles during his illustrious career, retiring with an impressive 818 victories. Notably, he was the first black tennis player to triumph in the US Open, the Australian Open, and Wimbledon, breaking barriers and setting new standards for the sport. Beyond his on-court success, Ashe was also the first black player selected for the US Davis Cup team in 1963, later coaching the team to 2 championships after his retirement in 1979. In 1988, Ashe's life took a tragic turn when he suddenly experienced difficulty moving his right hand. An X-ray revealed a mass on the left side of his brain, which was surgically removed. The tumor was unusual, typically found in individuals with compromised immune systems. Subsequent tests confirmed the devastating news. Arthur Ashe was HIV positive and had developed AIDS. It is believed that he contracted the virus from a blood transfusion during heart surgery in 1983, a time when blood supplies were not routinely tested for HIV. Ashe kept his diagnosis private until 1992, when a newspaper threatened to expose his condition. On April 8th of that year, Ashe held a press conference to publicly announce that he had AIDS, revealing that he had known about his condition since 1988. Arthur Ashe passed away on February 6, 1993, at the age of 49. David Cole, music innovator. David Cole, co-founder of the groundbreaking music group C+C Music Factory, was instrumental in shaping the sound of the early 1990s. The group achieved worldwide fame with hit singles like Gonna Make You Sweat and Here We Go, Let's Rock and Roll. On January 24, 1995, David Cole passed away at the age of 32. While his official cause of death was spinal meningitis, there were speculations within the music industry that he died from AIDS-related complications. In memory of Cole, Mariah Carey released the single One Sweet Day with Boyz II Men in November 1995, a song that resonated with millions around the world. Eazy-E, the godfather of gangsta rap. Eric Wright, famously known as Eazy-E, was a founding member of the influential gangsta rap group NWA, which emerged in the late 1980s. His music was raw, unapologetic, and reflective of the struggles in urban America. In 1995, Eazy-E was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after collapsing during a music rehearsal. Comprehensive tests revealed that he was suffering from AIDS-induced pneumonia. Despite the best efforts of medical professionals, Eazy-E succumbed to the illness just a month later, on March 26, 1995. Bobby DeBarge, the voice of an era. Bobby DeBarge, lead singer of the R&B group Switch, was known for his unique falsetto and as the eldest brother in the famous DeBarge family. Tragically, Bobby's life was marred by a heroin addiction that began at the age of 15 and took a severe toll on his career and health. In 1988, he was arrested for drug trafficking and sentenced to prison. While incarcerated, Bobby developed a persistent cough and tested positive for HIV. After his release in 1993, his health rapidly declined, and he was placed in hospice care. Bobby DeBarge passed away from AIDS-related complications on August 16, 1995, at the age of 39. Kenny Green, a voice silenced too soon. Kenny Green was the lead singer of the 1990s R&B group Intro, known for their hits like Let Me Be the One, Ribbon in the Sky, and Come Inside. Discovered by the late Heavy D, Green not only sang, but also wrote and produced most of the group's songs. In 2001, while lying in a hospital bed, Kenny Green revealed during a phone interview that he had AIDS. Tragically, he passed away just 3 months later on October 1st, 2001, at the age of 32. Gene Anthony Ray, the fame that endured. Gene Anthony Ray gained fame for his role as Leroy Johnson in the 1980 film Fame and its television spin-off, which aired from 1982 to 1987. Known for his street-smart persona and dance moves, Gene was a rising star. However, in June 2003, he suffered a stroke, and 5 months later, on November 14, 2003, he passed away from complications related to the stroke. Although Gene was HIV positive at the time of his death, it remains unclear if his death was directly related to AIDS. He was 41 years old. Jermaine Stewart, A Dance to Remember. Jermaine Stewart first gained recognition in the 1980s as a dancer on the musical variety show Soul Train. He later became famous for his hit single, We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off, from his 1986 album, Frantic Romantic. On March 17, 1997, Jermaine passed away due to AIDS-related complications at the age of 39. For over 17 years, his grave marker remained without a tombstone until a fan generously provided one in 2014. Alan Wiggins, a career cut short. Alan Wiggins, a promising Major League Baseball player, saw his career unravel due to a severe drug addiction. Playing for teams like the San Diego Padres and the Baltimore Orioles between 1981 and 1987, Wiggins' struggle with drugs eventually led to his suspension from the league. After his dismissal, he contracted HIV through intravenous drug use and succumbed to AIDS on January 6, 1991, weighing less than 75 pounds. He was only 32 years old. Wayne Cooper, a funk legacy. Wayne Cooper, the original lead vocalist for the funk band Cameo, was known for his powerful voice on hits like I Just Wanna Be and Why Have I Lost You. Tragically, Wayne died from AIDS-related complications on September 22, 1984, at the age of 29, leaving behind a legacy that continues to influence the funk genre. Alvin Ailey, dance visionary. Alvin Ailey, a modern dance choreographer, founded the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater in 1958 to showcase black culture through dance. His 1960 masterpiece, Revelations, remains one of the most performed ballets worldwide. Ailey passed away from an AIDS-related illness on December 1, 1989, at the age of 58, leaving behind a rich cultural legacy that continues to inspire dancers globally. Chad Kinch, a life in transition. Chad Kinch, a professional basketball player, played for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Dallas Mavericks from 1980 to 1981. After leaving the NBA to deal with family issues, Kinch developed a drug habit that led to his contraction of HIV. He passed away from AIDS on April 3, 1994, at the age of 35. Franklin Seals, a star in the making. Franklin Seals is remembered for his roles as Lorenzo Hollingsworth on the 1980s sitcom Amen and Dexter Stuffins on Silver Spoons. In 1987, he developed a persistent cough and was unable to work regularly during the last 3 years of his life. Franklin died from AIDS-related complications on May 14, 1990, at the age of 37, his ashes scattered in the Caribbean Sea. Howard Rollins, breaking barriers on screen. Howard Rollins' role as Captain Davenport in the 1984 hit film A Soldier's Story led to his starring role as Virgil Tibbs in the television crime drama In the Heat of the Night. Despite his success, Rollins struggled with drug addiction and legal issues, which ultimately led to his removal from the series. Diagnosed with AIDS in the fall of 1996, Howard Rollins passed away 6 weeks later. In 2006, a wax statue of Rollins was unveiled at the Senator Theater in Baltimore and is now housed at the Great Blacks in Wax Museum. Kevin Peter Hall, a giant on screen. Kevin Peter Hall, known for his roles in the 1987 science fiction film Predator and its 1990 sequel, was a towering figure both on and off screen. He also starred in the comedy Harry and the Hendersons and its subsequent television adaptation. In 1990, Hall was involved in a car accident and received a blood transfusion during surgery, after which he was diagnosed with HIV. He passed away from AIDS-related pneumonia on April 10, 1991, just shy of his 36th birthday. Gil Scott-Heron, a voice for change. Gil Scott-Heron, known for blending poetry with music to create powerful social commentary, was famous for his 1970s track, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." In a 2008 interview, he revealed that he had contracted HIV after years of drug and alcohol abuse. Gil Scott-Heron passed away on May 27, 2011, in a New York City hospital. The exact cause of his death remains unknown. Escarita, the rock and roll pioneer. Escarita, an incredible pianist, R&B singer, and songwriter, was known for his frenetic performances and is often cited as an influence on rock and roll legend Little Richard. Some music historians even argue that Escarita was the true originator of rock and roll. He passed away from AIDS on October 23, 1986. Max Robinson, a trailblazing journalist. Max Robinson made history as the first black news anchor in the United States. He gained global attention in 1978 when he became an anchor for ABC News and World News Tonight. In December 1987, Robinson was diagnosed with AIDS after being hospitalized for pneumonia. Despite the rumors surrounding his declining health, he kept his condition private until his death on December 20, 1988. He requested that his AIDS diagnosis be revealed posthumously to raise awareness within the black community. Larry Riley, a beloved TV star. Larry Riley, known for his roles in A Soldier's Story and the primetime soap opera Knots Landing, continued working after being diagnosed with HIV in 1990, keeping his condition a secret. After his death on June 6, 1992, his wife revealed that he had died of AIDS at the age of 38. Sylvester, the Queen of Disco. Sylvester, who earned the moniker Queen of Disco, was celebrated for his flamboyant style, falsetto voice, and hits like You Make Me Feel Mighty Real. In 1985, after his boyfriend Rick Cranmer passed away from AIDS, Sylvester noticed his own symptoms but refused to get tested. Eventually diagnosed with AIDS, he became too weak to perform, but continued to give interviews about his illness. Sylvester passed away on December 16, 1988, at the age of 41, leaving a will that designated royalties from his music to AIDS charities. Charlie Barnett, a comedy legend. Charlie Barnett, a comedian who made his mark in the late 1970s, was known for his roles in the 1983 film DC Cab and as Noogie on the television series Miami Vice. He passed away from AIDS on March 16, 1996, at the age of 41. Dave Chappelle often credits Barnett as a major influence on his comedy career. Willie Smith, a fashion visionary. Willie Smith, one of the most successful young black fashion designers in history, passed away unexpectedly on April 17, 1987, at the age of 39. After being hospitalized for shigellosis and pneumonia, it was revealed that Smith had AIDS, a diagnosis he was unaware of until he was hospitalized. At the time of his death, his clothing company, Willie Wear Limited, had grossed over $25 million in sales. Sharon Redd, a disco diva. Sharon Redd, a singer, dancer, and songwriter, began her career as a background singer and later became a solo vocalist, releasing many disco hits in the early 1980s, including Love How You Feel and In the Name of Love. She passed away on May 1, 1992, from AIDS-related pneumonia. Isaac Asimov, literary giant. Although not widely known in his lifetime, Isaac Asimov, the prolific science fiction writer and biochemist, contracted HIV from a blood transfusion during heart surgery in 1983. The virus eventually led to AIDS, which Asimov kept private at the time of his death in 1992. His story only came to light years later when his widow, Janet, revealed the cause of his death. Asimov's contributions to literature and science remain immense, with works like Foundation and I, Robot still influencing contemporary science fiction. Tommy Ross, legendary drag queen. Tommy Ross, a trailblazer in the drag community, was known for her dazzling performances and activism. She won numerous pageants, including Miss Black America, and used her platform to raise awareness about LGBTQ+ issues. Ross was also an advocate for HIV/AIDS education, openly discussing her status to break down stigma. She passed away in 2000 from AIDS-related complications, leaving a legacy of courage and beauty. Peter Allen, the boy from Oz. Peter Allen, an Australian singer-songwriter and entertainer, was known for his exuberant performances and hit songs like I Go to Rio. He also co-wrote Arthur's theme, Best That You Can Do, which won an Academy Award. Allen was diagnosed with AIDS in 1986 and passed away in 1992. His life was later immortalized in the Broadway musical The Boy from Oz, starring Hugh Jackman. Glenn Burke, the first openly gay MLB player. Glenn Burke, an outfielder for the Los Angeles Dodgers and Oakland Athletics in the 1970s, is remembered as the first openly gay Major League Baseball player. Despite his talent, Burke faced discrimination and was forced out of the sport. He later became a prominent figure in the gay community and an advocate for LGBTQ+ rights. Burke contracted HIV in the 1980s and died from AIDS-related complications in 1995 at the age of 42. Brad Davis, actor and activist. Brad Davis, best known for his role in the film Midnight Express, was an actor who fearlessly took on challenging roles and used his platform to speak out on issues such as AIDS awareness. After being diagnosed with HIV in the 1980s, Davis kept his condition private to avoid professional stigma. He passed away from AIDS-related complications in 1991 at the age of 41. His widow later revealed his battle with the disease, sparking important conversations about the treatment of people with HIV/AIDS in the entertainment industry. And while we may not have known these celebrities personally, their work, public personas, and cultural impact made us feel connected to them. Grieving their loss is valid, and it's important to give ourselves space and time to process these emotions. We can honor their memory by engaging with their art, participating in memorials, or simply acknowledging the influence they had on our lives. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.